the good assignments. I don't know what I do to deserve it. But anyway, I did get the other two undefeated teams tonight, and we'll take you out to Seneca High School tonight, where Seneca took on the undefeated Iroquois Braves. Let's go to those highlights right now. Plenty of excitement early on in this one. Seneca went 3 and out on their first play and bring on their punter, Darren Eller. He will kick the ball away back to Timmy Noguera, standing at about the old 25-yard line. He'll take it. Cuts it up the right side. He'll get a few good blocks. He's got a lane. Look at him go. Just look at him go. He could go all the way, and he did, 75 yards. And just like that, the Braves were up 7-0. Iroquois' D was strong and stingy tonight, too. On the handoff, Eller would be stripped, and Troy Stenger pounds on the ball and recovers it. Early in the second quarter now, the Braves mount yet another drive. The second best quarterback in the league, Scott Schnarrs, drops back and lets it fly deep to Eric Sittinger, who's knocked out on the 3-yard line. And from there, it will be Troy Stenger once again, this time going up and over. Iroquois wins by the final of 35-0. Well, the best quarterback in the league, Chad Vaught, continued his tour.
And now, Sunday Sports Extra with your hosts, Mike Gallagher and Brian Dunn.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to this almost Monday Sports Extra. We're just about on Monday morning, getting to you late tonight, but a lot to cover, including local college football, a couple of local teams off, including Mercyhurst and Gannon. Edinburgh with the win, and so does Allegheny.
Yeah, Edinburgh on the road up in Northwood. Nice to see them get their first win, shut out at Youngstown State in that first game. They got the ground game going. I know we talked to Coach Holman during the week, Mike. He said they were going to get the ball up in the air a little bit more, but they only threw 13 passes, so they're probably a little bit concerned right now that they got to get some run-pass balance. But on the other hand, Allegheny continues to just roll right along.
They rolled right along. They had some concerns and had some problems in the early part of the game, but they went to the ground game in the second half and got the big win. Here's a recap of their game with Juniata.
All right, let's hear it. Heads. Calls ahead has been called.
Stadium. Don't go away. We have high school football to talk when we come back.
Teams in action. McDowell playing against DuBois on Friday night. Strong Vincent in action Friday night against Tech. Also on Saturday afternoon, Cathedral Prep survived a big scare, and Academy got a big win over East. Here's a look at how this weekend's football games went in the Metro. McDowell at home.
Interesting weekend in the county, and we still have 3 teams undefeated. Here's a look at how the undefeateds fared this weekend.
Tonight, we need a bigger one.
After 3 weeks of the Erie County League season, 3 teams remain among the elite. They're the unbeaten. First on the list, it's the Harbor Creek Huskies, who are trying to defend their ECL crown. And by now, it's no secret that their secret is the play of quarterback Chad Vaught. On Friday night, Vaught did it again. In just over 3 quarters of play, he threw for 3 touchdowns, bringing his season total to 11. He also ran for his 3rd touchdown of the season when he turned a broken play into a 55-yard touchdown run, giving the Huskies a 35-11 win over the Fairview Tigers.
I don't know that we've been rolling over them. The competition has been very stiff, and I say that seriously. I mean, other teams are playing hard. Again, we're hitting some big plays and such, but right now we're starting to pick up a variety of facets of our offense, and if we can keep continuing to improve, then we'll develop into a good team.
My night is Harbor Creek's night. You know, I don't like to talk about myself. If everybody else wants to talk about it, that's fine. But right now, my offensive line doing a great job. Jody Sutton and Jay Sarvis ran the ball real well tonight. Scott Metta did a great job catching the ball tonight, and our defense did a good job because Fairview's got a good offense.
In Seneca, Phil Glass and his Iroquois Braves were flying high, and like they've done so many times already this season, they let their special teams break the game wide open. And this time it was Tim Noguera taking the punt 68 yards for the score, giving the Braves a 7-0 lead. In the second quarter, Iroquois went up 14-0 when Troy Stenger took it in. This one put the Braves in control. They went on to blank the Bobcats 35-0. At Edinburgh, it looked like McLean would give Northwestern all they could handle when John Holman found Rob Walker for a 48-yard touchdown strike, making it 7-0 in favor of the Lancers. But the Wildcats quickly answered back when Todd Price aired it out to Steve Zawatsky to tie it at 7. Northwestern went on to control the rest of the way and won the game 28-7 They are now 3-0 in the season.
And don't go away. When we come back, we'll have a couple of county coaches butting heads. Stay with us. As we promised, a couple of county coaches ready to butt heads. To our immediate left, Phil Glass of the Iroquois Braves and Dan Budashevsky of the Harbor Creek Huskies. These two teams will meet on Saturday afternoon in Braves country. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us. What do we look for in this one? Let's start with Coach Glass. What do you anticipate?
I anticipate a tough ball game. Harbor Creek's got a lot of weapons, and we know obviously about the big one in Chad Vaught, but Sutton and Sarvis in the backfield do a nice job, and they've got some kids that catch the ball, and their linemen are tough. Offensive line protects them, gives them time.
Coach, you sat on this show a couple weeks ago and said the team to beat is the guy from Iroquois, and now you got a chance to show what you guys have. Are you confident going into the game?
I think every coach has got to be confident going into any football game, and especially a big game when you've had your kids playing pretty well. But far cry from being overconfident. We're going to have our hands full.
Does the home field advantage mean anything at all in this one, especially since you're playing on a Saturday afternoon, which your kids, Coach, might not be used to doing?
Well, I think the biggest part of their home field advantage is their team.
That helps.
Yeah, they have, they're very good, and they have an awful lot of things they do well. Everything from special teams, and their defense is unscored upon, and their offense is rolling up the points. So that's the biggest advantage they have on their home field is their team.
Do we have to, I don't think we read into this, but when you look at it, we don't just have two unbeatens in the county going against each other. We're talking Iroquois, Harbor Creek. There's no love lost in women's softball. There's no love lost in other sports, and we know there's not going to be any in football, and there hasn't been in the past. Is it an extra incentive game because it's Harbor Creek and not just for the standings, Coach?
Well, I think we could both be 0-3, and these kids are going to play a heck of a football game. Since we're both undefeated, I think that just makes it, all that more of a game. But these kids, I think Paul Faust summarized it a few years ago. He said that when we play one another, it doesn't matter what the sport is, it's going to be a hard-fought game. But afterwards, these kids are down at McDonald's drinking milkshakes together. And I think, when we're done playing, we're going to be pulling for the Huskies, and hopefully they'll be pulling for us.
Coach, is it tough going in? They've got such the one guy that shines for this team. I think everyone would agree that Chad's probably the premier player in the county this football season. You really got to go in key on this guy. He can beat you so many ways.
Well, there's no question about that. But he has quite a complimentary group with him, too. And, yeah, we're going to work on trying to shut him down, but we can't forget the other weapons they have, too.
Coach Budashevsky, when you look at this Iroquois team and the games I've been to, their special teams seem to really break the games open. And punt return in particular, we got 2, and then really should have had 3 or 4 punt returns for touchdowns at this point. Do you concentrate on special teams this week, or maybe look a little more intensely at it because of the situation with the Braves?
I think all coaches really work hard on specialties these days. This week, we're going to probably do what we normally would do, but we will obviously have to really stress coverage on kicks of all sorts because they have game breakers.
While we have you gentlemen with us, before we talk any more with you, we have our top 10 premiere. And we're going to do it with the Husky coach and the Braves coach with us. Duff, why don't you take it from here?
Yeah, I know you coaches always say this stuff doesn't matter and we don't pay any attention to it, but we'll find out right now.
When we go to cover the Harbor Creek Iroquois game, we'll hear about it, believe me.
Checking in at number 1, a shaky hold now after a tough Saturday afternoon against State College Prep in the number 1 spot. Vincent and Meadville check in at 2 and 3. Now these two could be interchangeable. We really like Strong Vincent's running game, Mike.
Running game, not just the 2 that we talk about, but they've got some backup running backs.
Quentin Orlando.
They are just so strong the whole way down the line and can really do some things. But again, Prep there because of what happened with Moeller in their time in the past. But you don't know. It could be interchangeable before it's all over.
Checking in at number 4, the Harbor Creek Huskies. Coach Dan Budashevsky. Vaught, of course, as we mentioned, he's the quarterback there, the class of the area. The Huskies can beat you on the ground, and they can beat you in the air. At number 5, Hickory. They crushed Grove City over the weekend, 24-0. We move to our second 5 in our top 10. At number 6, Maplewood. Maybe a bit of a surprise here now. They beat Lakeview this weekend, 41-34 to take the top spot in the FCVC. A bit of a shocker in that one. Number 7, Sharon. They have a loss to Hickory, but they won over the weekend 48-0 over an unbeaten unbeaten team, West Middlesex. Number 8, Iroquois. Steady, not spectacular. We will find out a lot about this team come Saturday afternoon, so it will be a showdown between number 4 and number 8. Some people can be moving around in the top 10.
That's right, and I'm sure
Reynolds at number 9. Mike, hold on one second. Northwestern, another ECL team at number 10. The surprise of the season so far, and maybe in the Erie County League at number 10. So we got 4 against number 8.
We've got 4 against 8, and it's going to be interesting because now they'll really be concerned and hyping it up in the locker room all week to see who's going to advance on the Sunday
Yes,
Sports Extra.
they all care so
top
much.
10. They don't care about the state ratings, but Sunday Sports Extra hits home. Any comments on the ratings?
You guys have a good time with it.
We'll have a good time with it. All right, gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Lots of luck this week, and we will see you on Saturday afternoon at Iroquois High School. Don't go away. We're back with more after this. Hear them over the microphones, but that's locker room etiquette. Coach takes charge and controls, but we had a great show so far, and we're in the football season. But football, not the only sporting news of the weekend.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, including today's marathon, a rough one. Boy, I wouldn't have liked to have been out there running all 26.2 miles. These people are nuts.
Yes, I don't care what the weather. Nancy Schmidt from the Pittsburgh area, we believe. A good effort on her part, but a tough day overall. And we got to show you something on this show. For some reason, personnel amongst the staff here don't think Duff socks match everything else. It's been that kind of Monday morning. Can we show the socks? I don't know.
My socks? What do you think,
there's
Mike?
a little gray and blue in there. You got a little gray
talk
and
to
blue
my wife.
on.
She picked them out. I don't deal with the wardrobe.
Anytime she wants to shop for me, she's more than welcome to.
As long as she's spending our money.
That's right, as long as she's spending your money. But that's going to do it for this edition of Sunday Sports Extra, and now Monday morning. We thank you for staying up with us, and we hope you'll join us again next Sunday night. That's it for this week. For our director, Mitch Spear, and all of us here, have a great week.
Effort tonight. We need a bigger one next week.
Somebody led my hand. It seems I hardly had to steer. My course was planned. And destiny, it guides us all by its every rise and fall. But only for a moment, time enough to catch our breath again. And we're just another piece of the puzzle.
Accurate play, one player quietly making an impact without the fanfare is Iroquois' Scott Schnars, Channel 35's Player of the Week. Schnars leads the unbeaten Braves into a key matchup Saturday versus Vaught's Huskies, but feels that the game will be anything but a Schnars-Vaught showdown.
It's our team. It isn't just one player. There's 10 other people out on the field besides me, and I wouldn't be able to do anything without them, so I just wish our team was getting more than they are.
Schnars ranks second in the County League in passing and also possesses the ability to run, both of which have been a key to the Braves' early season success. It is the success Schnars felt confident would come about.
We saw it coming last year. We were waiting for this year for a long time, and last year we knew it was coming this year, and we're just real glad that it's turning out the way it is, and we're looking forward to Saturday.
Scott Schnars, Sports Watch Player of the Week.
Thank you, Paul. And for the first time ever, Gannon and Merciers meet on the football field Saturday. This is a 2 o'clock game, Harbor Creek and Iroquois, and at least from what I've seen, Rudy, I think Iroquois has an outstanding chance of winning this game, despite the fact that Harbor Creek goes in as the defending champion and maybe a little bit more experience, especially defensively.
Yeah, we're going to make enemies either way we look at this one. But you got to think that maybe Harbor Creek has a little edge just simply because they're playing at home. They're playing on a Saturday afternoon, which Harbor Creek isn't used to doing. They're used to playing their games in the cool on a Friday night. And it's going to be a defensive struggle. I think the team that comes up with the big defensive plays is going to win.
Yeah, I think Coach B will probably disagree with that, but that should be a good one. I agree with you. I think Harbor Creek, if they play this game tonight, Harbor Creek's got a little edge because of the fact that's their normal week of work. Iroquois is used to the Saturday afternoon games, and we'll see. You'll have highlights tomorrow on the Newswatch Sports at 11 p.m.
Sure will.
All right, thank you, Rude. Good job again. Let's head to the County League scores now and show.
out for me for my birthday. I can't help it. He's only 16 months old. He picked it out. I'll wear it, you know? Anyway, big rivalry. We're going to see Gannon Mercier's highlights. Great. And we'll show you what happened at the stadium when sports return.
Everyone anticipated a war to settle the score as Mercier was really successful down in Lawrence Park. Backyard rivals, better suited to close the season, met with first place in the league on the line today. Iroquois' speed allowed it to rush Harbor Creek quarterback Chad Vaught and harass him. The Braves forced the fumble and recover. Plus, the black and gold has an awesome offensive punch. Troy Stenger goes in from the 2. They missed the conversion, 8-6 Huskies. From running to passing, Scott Schnars leads Eric Sittinger to the end zone, 14-8 in favor of the Braves. And Schnars goes with the quick route and the jump pass to Gordo. Mike Gord with the TD. And then finally, to freeze the defense, Schnars with the pump fake. And he decides to go deep to Sittinger. 30-yard scoring play as the Braves remain unbeaten, 26-15.
Schnars, his passes were right on the money. Our line did a heck of a job keeping the blocks and all that, and I just have to give credit to the defense. We played one hell of a game.
It's all a very hard-hitting football game, and once again we came through with some nice execution when we needed it, but that was a hard physical game, and I wouldn't say dominated was a good word.
Iroquois
meeting the county. Harbor Creek and Iroquois battle to stay in first place. That and more after this. At 3-0, a mistake-filled first half. The two teams combined for 6 fumbles. First play from scrimmage for Iroquois. Harbor Creek's Rob Englert comes in untouched and nails quarterback Scott Schnars. Jay Sarvis is there to pick it up and running in 8-zip after the successful 2-point try. Iroquois comes right back and gets 6. Troy Stanger gets in from 2 yards out. 8-6. Harbor Creek still in the lead. Now just before half, Iroquois takes the lead. Schnars to Eric Sittinger. The 2-try would be good. 14-8. Iroquois at halftime. The Braves put it away early in the second half, scoring on their first 2 possessions. Schnars to Mike Gord on a quick hitter. 20-8, Iroquois in the lead. Then watch this pass from Schnars to Sittinger again. 28-8, Iroquois rolling in this one. Harbor Creek added a late score. Iroquois wins it 28-15.
I think our kids up front gave them a very good pass rush, and our secondary really hung on their receivers. But I tell you what, that Mr. Vaught is something special because he can run the football, and at times we think you have him bottled up, and he just makes big plays. But yeah, we're proud of our overall effort of our defense.
We had opportunities in the first half, and we did not capitalize, and I think that probably swung the difference. We had good field position, and we didn't make the plays when we had to. And
so it's Iroquois and Harbor Creek and Northwestern tied atop the ECL. McDowell and Tech play tonight. In
1 month,
$4.
Creek and Iroquois playing to stay in first place in the County League with Northwestern with 4-0 records. 6 fumbles in the first half in this one. The first one comes on Iroquois' first play. It led to Harbor Creek's first score. Rob Englert carries it in for the touchdown. Harbor Creek's second possession, fumble. Chad Vaught back to pass. He gets nailed, and he gives it up. How about this? Very next play, the Braves will be looking to get this one in the end zone. Watch the stick right here and watch the football go up in the air. Nice recovery here. The fumbles would keep on coming in this one. Second quarter, Iroquois says, you take it, I don't want it. A bad pitch here by quarterback Scott Schnars, and the Huskies are there to recover. The very next play, a Harbor Creek completion. A Harbor Creek fumble. 5 plays after this Harbor Creek fumble, Iroquois says, you guys take it. Schnars, he's back to pass. This one might have been an incomplete pass. His arm may have been coming forward. It is, however, ruled a fumble. That is the 6th of the first half. It was 8-0 Harbor Creek when Iroquois would get back in the game to get the touchdown here. It's 8-6. After the 2-point try would fail. 14-8 Iroquois at half after Schnars hits Eric Sittinger here with the touchdown pass. In the second half, Iroquois would put this one away. Schnars to Mike Gord on the quick hitter into the end zone. It's 20-15 at this point. Then Schnars, watch this beautiful pass. He connects with his favorite receiver, Sittinger again. 28-15 the final score. Iroquois wins the football game over Harbor Creek.
I think our kids up front gave them a very good pass rush, and our secondary really hung on their receivers. But I tell you what, that Mr. Vaught is something special because he can run the football, and at times we think you have him bottled up, and he just makes big plays. But yeah, we're proud of our overall effort of our defense.
They're a very good team, and they have great quickness, and we knew we were going to have to be on top of our game, and they certainly did a heck of a job.
Another big football game played on Friday. Here's how we're going to call it for this week. Checking in at the #1 spot, Cathedral Prep held back in a very impressive Academy team. The Ramblers have snuck out wins the last 2 times they have played to keep a hold on the #1 spot. Checking in at #2, Strong Vincent. This team just gets better and better every week. They are going to be a force when playoff time comes. Meadville checks in at #3, just where they were last week. They blasted an overmatched Allegheny Academy. Iroquois, no one's surprised they were able to beat Harbor Creek, but their complete control of the game opened some eyes. Iroquois jumps up from #8 to #4. The Braves look like the class of the ECL, at least at this point. They've got big games coming up still with Northwestern and Corey. Checking in at #5, Sharon. They crushed Grove City on Friday night, so the Tigers looking very, very good in the early going of the season. Checking in at #6, Reynolds. They knocked off Hickory by just 1 point in Mercer County play. Hickory drops below Reynolds because of that loss. They're second in the state's AA poll, but again, they lost Friday night against Reynolds, so they probably will drop in the state poll. Northwestern checks in at #8. Big games with Iroquois and Harbor Creek still to come. Northwestern still has a shot to win this ECL championship outright. Checking in at #9, the Maplewood Tigers. They are 4-0 after beating Sagertown. Harbor Creek remains in the top 10. They were #4 last week, but they were beaten soundly by Iroquois. They stay in the top 10 at #10. That will do it for this edition of Sunday Sports Extra. It was directed by Joe Navarro.
And Iroquois remains 3rd in Class A. Braves coach Phil Glass told me today at practice that he doesn't want his team thinking about the big win over Harbor Creek for too long. The Braves have to forget about the Huskies and prepare for Northeast.
Because we're all so high up on beating Harbor Creek, and also because the homecoming, this is also our homecoming game, and there's a lot of distractions with the dance, everything going on in school this week, you know, and so we're trying to make it a good homecoming again this year.
It's hard this week with the homecoming, like Scott said, but I think the team has its goals, and we're going to try real hard to stay focused.
4 3/4 plus Academy.
As their story.
The Iroquois Braves brought their unblemished record with them in their game against Northeast on Saturday. After a scoreless first half, QB Scott Schnars gets the offense going. Schnars drops back, scrambles right, looking, finally fires into the end zone. There's Eric Sinninger for the TD. He would have 2 on the day, 13-0 Iroquois at this point. Moving to the 4th quarter, Schnars pitches to Troy Stenger on the run. Stenger stops, launches the aerial to Mike Gord over the middle, all by himself. Gord goes 47 yards untouched for the score. 19-0 Iroquois starting to put it away. After throwing 2 TD passes of his own, Scott Schnars gets one back for himself. Here on the keeper, running to his right, through traffic, into the end zone. The extra point was no good. Iroquois up, however, 25-0 at this point, and that's how it would end on the scoreboard.
Well, we were pretty pleased the way our defense played in the first half. We obviously weren't pleased on the fact that our offense couldn't finish off anything, and once again, turnovers got us a little bit. But I give Northeast a lot of credit. They were fired up and ready to play and looking to earn some respect back. And I think they've done that. They're a good football team, and I don't think anybody can underestimate them. At halftime, we made some blocking assignment adjustments and some attitude adjustments, and I think we were ready to play football in the second half.
To give credit to Northeast, they played one heck of a ball game. I mean, they played with their hearts and all that. And halftime, our coach just got us fired up, and we came out and won the game.
With the win, Iroquois joins Northwestern again atop the ECL, both with 5-0 marks, with a showdown brewing. For Sunday Sports Extra, I'm Todd Sturgeon.
By the way, Todd, interning with us, you'll be hearing a lot from him over the next several months here on Jet TV. Going right now to the other, including our #1 team as we go to our top 10, and it is, once again, the Cathedral Prep Ramblers. Until someone proves otherwise, they are going to stay there. And the team that might prove otherwise, the Strong Vincent Colonels, who are having a fantastic season. Sharon jumps up to number 3 after beating Meadville and showing that they are certainly for real. Iroquois and the Braves at number 4, Northwestern number 5. From our purposes, let's say those interchange in case you think so, because they'll meet in 2 weeks. Coach Gage will join us live next week to talk about the game. Hopefully Coach Glass can make it in as well. We haven't asked him yet, but hopefully he'll join us, and we'll get those two to go head-to-head if they both come up with wins next week. Let's run through the second 5. Meadville down to number 6. They could drop even further. We'll have to find out if Sharon is just that good. Reynolds in at 7. Hickory at number 8. Maplewood at number 9. Harbor Creek still doing okay. They're in there at number 10. Some honorable mentions, of course, the Corey Beavers doing well thus far. The Tech Centaurs proving they're for real, so it's still early in the season. One other note regarding the top 10, the most complaints, either by phone, mail, or out in public, have come from Iroquois Brave fans who think they should be higher, don't like where they're rated, and of course, Youngsville, and that's because our director is an alumnus and feels he should be in at least the top 10 because of his support, and without him, we wouldn't have a show. So speaking of him, we are going to wrap up this show. For my co-host Brian Duffy, who is vacationing, we will both be here next week to take your complaints regarding the top 10. So until then, have a great week, and we're going to close out tonight with one more musical look at Edinboro's fantastic homecoming. Thanks, everyone.
It's been a long time since I've gone through this old town. Oh, how the memories start to flow.
The Seneca Bobcats, this battle of cats should be another hard-hitting affair.
This is our homecoming, and we haven't won too many homecomings lately, so we have to take it to them. Pure football.
Pretty strong defense-wise, and we really got to shoot off the ball, you know, off snap, and blow them off the ball.
A big test for the county's other undefeated club, Iroquois. The Braves will travel to Corey for a meeting with the Beavers, and the Braves know what to expect.
They're coming there, what, 4-1, and we're 5-0, and they want back on top, so they're going to be fired up for us, yeah.
The Edinboro Fighting Scots are back on the road after 2 straight.
One of the strongest teams, if not the strongest. They struggled a little bit earlier with a lot of injuries. Those injuries are healed up, and they're back to full strength, so we know we've got our hands full.
When Bruce Smith plays for the Bills,
He gets to that sideline and goes 50 yards for the score. 7-0 Braves. And just a little bit later, Dan Gray, as the fog starts rolling in, cuts back, finds the opening. He goes 34 yards for the touchdown, and the Braves were up 23-6. Later, it's Sean Day of Iroquois. Up and over. That blew it wide open. The Braves over Iroquois 30-6. Coach Phil Glass quite pleased with his offensive line.
I think the difference in the ball game today was our offensive line. They just really did a job and allowed us to control the football, especially in the second half, and run the ball and use clock. And I think those kids really deserve a pat on the back.
The Braves are now 6-0 for the season. At Northwestern, the
Braves took on the Corey Beavers. Iroquois looking to move to 6-0 on the campaign. And we check out some of the highlights from Beaver Country. Iroquois gets started early. Watch this 44-yard punt return by Eric Stittinger. He takes it all the way into the end zone, practically untouched here, as Iroquois jumps out to a 7-0 lead after the extra point as he hits pay dirt. Just before the half, it'll be Nick Price nailing a 35-yard field goal to make it 10-0 Braves at the half. But in the third quarter, with Iroquois up 17-0, Corey starts a comeback. Greg Wilson hitting Dana Harrington with the long gainer here. On the very next play, it's Harrington carrying it in. 17-6, the Braves still in front as Corey gets on the scoreboard. But the Braves take control in this ball game when Dan Grail scores his second touchdown of the game. Iroquois wins it by a final score of 30-6 tonight. And after the game, these comments from Coach Phil Glass and place kicker Nick Price.
What about your field goal kicker? How big was that long field goal at the end of the half?
Dominic Price is a heck of a kicker. He is going to make some news before it's all said and done. We have a lot of confidence And I think you're going to hear a lot more about him in the next this season and next year.
Well, when Coach called the timeout and I went back in the huddle, I was actually feeling a bit sick. I was hoping the line would block it up because they let one through last week, but line did an excellent job. They blocked up well, and Sean got the hold down and just went straight through.
Elsewhere in the ECL.
Any dead body. How can we guarantee this level of service? First, we rigorously test our applicants for